Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Renee Adair. I'm a webinar moderator for the International Project Management Day. Today's session is going to be on learning how to optimize your WBS session, and this webinar series is hosted by International Project Management Day, which is a day of recognition for project managers. Our most recent event was November 7th, 2013, IPM Day. It was another record breaker. There was an estimated over 100,000 project managers, project team members attending events around the world, and we want to thank you for your participation and in giving project managers a moment of recognition. Our 2014 event will be November 7th, 2014, so please, take the time to acknowledge the work of project managers and schedule an event. At the end of the presentation, we'll put up a slide about how you would claim your PDUs. And we will also, if you have any questions, you can post them throughout the presentation in your questions box, and we will try and take some of those questions at the end of the presentation. So today our presenter is Brandon Conrad. He's from Matchware Incorporated. Brandon has a degree in economics and psychology from the University of Kansas. Brandon has worked for Matchware since 2005 as a product manager. In his time there, he has focused on mind mapping software and how it relates to project management. He's written articles and given presentations to multiple project management groups in the U.S. and Europe about using mind mapping in project management. His articles have been published in multiple PMI publications. His presentations have been with various PMI chapters and at the PMI Global Congress in 2008 and 2009. You might recognize his presentation, Evolution of the Prehistoric Sticky Note. So today we are pleased to have Brandon present on how to simplify planning with mind mapping. So thank you, Brandon.
Introduction, and I'll just kind of jump right into it. The first thing I typically, ask when I'm doing this presentation is by show of hands, how many people are familiar with mind mapping. Obviously, that doesn't work in this format, but typically it's about 25% of the people in the room are at least familiar with mind mapping or have actually heard about mind mapping. For those that aren't, what is a mind map? It just starts in the middle and explodes outwards like a spider diagram. Essentially, it's an organic way to display the WBS. So you're going to have deliverables and work packages. Again, it's the same information. One's organic and one is linear. Now, the benefits of mind mapping, now I'm not going to read every one of these slides to you. But I think the key to hone in here is increase in productivity by 25%, because the planning and brainstorming sessions are a lot more efficient, and when you're using a mind mapping tool, you can actually share that information without having to recreate it, which we'll get into a little bit later. Now, this next slide I'm going to show you is going to be a bunch of numbers on the PowerPoint slide. What I want you to do is try to find the number 1, then find the number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and so on. I'm going to give you a couple seconds to do that. Now, typically people don't get past number 5, trying to find that. A lot of people don't even get to number 2. But think of that and the way our brains work. That's how, let's say we're all on a round table and people are throwing these ideas out there and we're doing a planning and brainstorming session. There's no structure to it. It's hard to get our brains to conceptualize that type of information. So what I'm going to do now is show you the same group of numbers. Now, if I put a structure or order around these numbers, now look for 1. And look for 2, look for 3. So this represents a planning and brainstorming session, but maybe possibly using a whiteboard or